All black everything. Think it's flight. Big dreams, many streams. We back, y'all. Power of now. Right where we left off. We getting back into it. Peace and love to my pops, man. Love you, miss you, man. Love you, mama. Doing everything for y'all. You know how we do it. We in a different location. But we doing it in a different way because we got the lights off. Lights out. But we still doing it. Peace and love. Thank y'all for checking us out. Like it, share it, subscribe it, thumbs up like you're hitchhiking, and we going in like this. Then it continues. Mind strategies for avoiding the now. Loss of the now, the core delusion. Even if I completely accept that ultimately time is an illusion, what difference is that going to make in my life? I still have to live in a world that's completely dominated by time. Intellectual agreement is just another belief that won't make much difference in your life. To realize this truth, you need to live it. When every cell in your body, is so present that it feels vibrant with life, and when you can feel that life energy moment as the joy of being, then it can be said that you are free of time. And he says, but I still have to pay the bills tomorrow. Am I still going to have to grow old and die just like everyone else? So, how can I ever say that I'm free of time? Tomorrow's bills are not the problem. The delusion, the disillusion of the physical body is not a problem. Loss of now is the problem, or rather, the core delusion that turns a mere situation, event, or emotion into a personal problem and into suffering. Loss of now is loss of being. And so you ought to stop doing it. And he says, to be free of time is to be free of the psychological need for the past, excuse me, need of past for your identity and future for your fulfillment. It represents the most profound transformation of consciousness that you can imagine. In some rare cases, this shift is already, shift in consciousness happens dramatically and radically once and for all. When it does, it usually comes through the total surrender in the midst of intense suffering. Most people, however, have to work at it. When you have had your first glimpse of the timeless state of consciousness, you begin to move back and forth between the dimensions of time and presence. First, you become aware of just how rarely your attention is truly in the now. But to know that you are not present is a great success. That knowing is presence, even if initially it only lasts for a couple of seconds of clock time before it is lost again. Then, with increasing frequency, you can choose to have the focus of your consciousness in the present moment rather than in the past or the future. And whenever you realize that you had lost the now and you are able to stay in it just for a couple of seconds, but for longer periods as perceived from the external perceived of clock perspective of clock time. So before you are firmly established in the state of presence, which is to say before you are fully conscious, you shift back and forth for a while between consciousness and unconsciousness, between the state of presence and the state of mind identification. You lose the now and you return to it again and again. Eventually, presence becomes your predominant state. That's where you want to be. Presence in the now, your predominant state. You did. For most people, presence is experienced either never at all or once, excuse me, or only accidentally and briefly on rare occasions without being recognized for what it is. Most humans alternate not between consciousness and unconsciousness, but only between different levels of unconsciousness. Ooh, that's a deep one. You got to get into that consciousness, ordinary unconsciousness, and deep unconsciousness. What do you mean by different levels of unconsciousness? Hmm. As you probably know, in sleep, you constantly move between phases of dreamless sleep and the dream state. Similarly, in wakefulness, most people only shift between ordinary unconsciousness and deep unconsciousness. What I call ordinary unconsciousness means being identified with your thought processes, emotions, and your reactions, desires, and aversions. It is most people's normal state. In that state, you are run by the egoic mind. You are unaware of being. It is a state not of acute pain or unhappiness, but of almost continuous low level of unease, discontent, boredom, or nervousness, and kind of a background static. You may not realize this because it is so much a part of your normal living, just as you are not aware of the continuous low background noise, such as the hum on the air conditioner until it stops. When it suddenly does stop, there is a sense of relief. Many people use alcohol, drugs, sex, food, work, television, or or even shopping as aesthetics in an unconscious attempt to remove the basic unease. When this happens, an activity that might be very enjoyable if used in moderation excuse me, becomes imbued with a compulsive or addictive quality. And all that is ever achieved through it is extremely short lived symptom relief. Just putting a band aid on it. Don't put a band aid on it. Get comfortable with yourself. In the now, in the now, in the now, in the now. We're gonna leave it right there, y'all. We're gonna leave it right there. Get comfortable with you, y'all. Learn who you are. Out now. All black everything. Take a flight. Big dreams, many streams. Thank you for checking us out. Come back. Like and share, subscribe, and thumbs up like you're hitchhiking. Leave your comments. Yes, indeed. Peace and love, y'all. Mama, pops.